Hello patrons and subscribers, because you guys are going to have this video for a fucking while. These are the Modhouse Tungstens. They're actually still in the prototype stage. This is the version 9, and there's like a version 9.2 I think that he's gone with. And the reason you guys, patrons and supporters, are going to see this for probably a few months before it goes public is these are a handmade planar that if I made a video, if I was a real piece of shit and I made a video for this and put it public on my channel and it got 10, 15,000 views, which is, you know, not bad. Poor Ryan at Modhouse would never be able to get them to the people. So I'm limiting it to supporters of this channel. There have been leaks. He's brought it to shows. He showed individuals. He brought this. He actually had a very, very early prototype, like a 3 or a 4 or maybe a 5, version 5, at SoCal CanJam 2022. And I was not impressed with it. I don't think anyone was impressed with it. It had like a weird 3D printed shell, and the drivers weren't tuned, and it was like, all right, he's got some work to do, but it's another one of those things. Fast forward to Capital Audio Fest. Was that 2023? Might have been 2022 as well. I'm not sure. Was that after the new year? It might have been the new year. Anyway, this year's 2023's most recent Capital Audio Fest, and he brought something that looked very similar to this. All new headband, handmade by him. The backs were wood, and he had revision, I think, 7 of the driver. And I had a hotel room there, and he brought it there. And he's like, they're real hard to drive, use this and that. And we plugged it in, and what I did was I immediately got on my phone, and I knew several people who were attending the show. And I said, come to my room. Come to my, stop all that shit down on the fucking floor. Come to my room. And like Nathan, if you're a patron of mine, if you're in the patronage chat, if you're a $10 patron, you know Nathan. I made him hear them because he loves to hunt for the greatest things ever, but he's very, very, he buys a lot of stuff, but he doesn't buy like everything. As soon as he heard the fucking that set, can I give you a check? Now, right now. This set right here, right now, can I do it? And it was no, because there's only one that existed. I heard them. I knew what was coming. That was the exact... There were 2 things that happened at Capital Audio Fest that year. I knew about the Tungstens, which I was still iffy on the name, but that's where we're going with it. And there were the MoFi SourcePoint 10s. Those were the 2 like life-changing things that are about to happen in audio. Still haven't gotten the SourcePoint 10s, but these pre-release of the Tungstens are here, and they've been here for a while. How do I go about describing these? They're gonna be the best headphone that exists, certainly for the price. In fact, to not give away too much of the secret sauce, if you know Ryan at Modhouse, you know because of this, the Argons. T60, T50, doesn't really matter. You know the care that gets put into these. You know that there used to be like a 14-week waiting list for this. And he takes apart a T50 or a T60. He hand matches the drivers. He hand does the tuning, and then he puts them up. And it takes him a while to make each pair. And that's why there was a 14-week waiting list. He also didn't charge enough for these. For the amount of work, the 2 hours plus 2-3 hours it took to do all those things per headphone, and his doing the individual custom straps and things, I don't think he was charging enough. Fast forward to his own custom headphone. And when I say his own custom headphone, I mean you look at this and go, wait, this is printed? This is custom. This none of this steel. All right, real simple example. And I would pull up the video on my phone if I could find it. This steel here, the spring steel on top, he gets raw steel, has it stamped into the shape with the holes, and then takes it to the forge in his garage and heats it and bends it and heats it and bends it and turns it into spring steel. And then he paints it, or he I'm not sure of the process of this. I think he's Cerakoting a lot of it. But Just imagine you're building a headphone in your garage, and you can go and you could just, you know, buy a headband from someone else. But no. It's got to be perfect. Every one of these pieces here, this piece here with the rod going through that does the adjustments, this piece that's really weirdly organic shaped, he designed that. He designed it to hold the strap. He designed it to hold the metal. He designed it to hold the rod. He has these custom made. He has these custom made. He has the cups, the round, all sintered, 3D print sintering, which makes it like a rock. And then he has them coated. And then he gets the pads from ZMF. In fact, these were a failed version of the Caldera pad. Because Zach from ZMF is cool as fuck. Hi, Zach. How you doing? And he just said, hey, Ryan, you're doing a thing. Here's like 7 pads that we didn't like the way it sounded on the Caldera. And so he took them and he tested all of them. And pad failure number 3 or something was like, they're perfect. So ZMF is providing the pads for these headphones. They're held in place, by the way. They're, I think, just glued right now to this metal plate that goes over the driver because it's a strong planar. Let's talk more about the build before we get to the sound, because it's going to be just, I'm going to get a headache describing the sound. So we're just going to put those to the side. I want to talk about the build a little more. The rods here, he used to get the rods from China. And he went, I don't like that. I don't want to make anything in China. So now he has a company in America making the rods, machining them out, going back and forth. So everything you see here is made in 3 places. America, 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 America. This wire, you might recognize this as a Viking Weave cable. Skedra, who's also a patron of mine, makes these for him, for this headphone. Because you know what? He heard the headphone and went, I'm going to build a cable for this. I'm going to build like a $300 cable for this. I don't know, maybe more. Because he makes them specifically with his logo for this headphone. This is the Tungsten's cable. It comes with a fucking Viking Weave cable. Automatically one of the best cables you can buy, and it's coming with it. This is made in the UK. The other thing that's made in the UK is the drivers themselves, which are custom made. Company out there that's doing it, doing the traces, doing the back and forth across the pond. They're gold. Like the D8000 gold. They're gold drivers. But the gold, well, apparently, and Ryan told me this story, and I'm sure if I did another Meet the Creator, we'd talk about the gold some more. He said, well, there was like 4 different countries for the different types of gold, and for some reason, the Italian gold worked best. Got the thinnest, it had the best adhesion, we used Italian gold. So now we've got drivers made in the UK out of Italian gold with the UK cable. And then one more thing from Italy, the Alcantara that's on top comes from there. The actual material that he has imported and makes the head comes from Italy. So you've got UK using Italian gold and Italian things, and wherever Skedra sources this cables from, and these massive connectors. It is a 3.5 millimeter, and it has been specifically designed that this hole can accept just about any wire you want to put, in case you don't, for some reason, want the amazing cable. The backs, I should go upstairs and get the wood backs. These are the aluminum ones. The set, when I first got this set, it had wood backs, but they were like temporary. He didn't have the backing plate on it. So I went to grab them after like 3 days, and I put my thumb through it. And I'm like, oh God. And he's like, no, you didn't have the right back. So I asked for the aluminum ones, and I asked for them in purple, because I love purple. And actually, these are a set that he says, yeah, I don't know, they just didn't come out right, so I can't tell what's wrong with them. But these are a disposed set of purple aluminum backs. He'll do custom colors. We haven't got to the price. This review is going to have at least 1 diamond in the title, and thank God. This is a single-sided. I should probably point that out. There are no magnets on the inside of this. You just see the gold driver. There are magnets on the outside, and oh my. The single-sided, I believe, and don't quote me, click the link, 1,600. There's going to be a custom case. There's going to be a couple different options. You're going to get a certificate of authenticity. This is a real headphone. This is real. The double-sided, where he's working on a whole different driver array with 2 sides magnets to make the efficiency a little better and make the evenness of the... It's going to be $2,000, maybe $2,200. I'm going to give him some room to wiggle because he needs... The build on this, the comfort on this, is not representative of a person's first standalone headphone. This is an obsessive person's 15th headphone. If we put these pads back on, which they simply just is like screws here that hold the driver in place, and you just put it down and you go, well, wait, that's the back. So you do it this way. You get it down and you turn it till it goes click. Boom. I can't tell you how many pads I tried in the previous revision of this. And let's put this on my head. It's an awfully weird looking headband, don't you think? It's like, look how close this is. So I'm gonna take the camera off my head for a second. You can stare at the wallpaper. I know you're enjoying that. I'm gonna put these on and then I'm gonna film my own stupid face. Do you see how tight this is to the top of my head? They are the best fitting, most comfortable, lightest. Another thing, he's obsessed with weight. This doesn't look stupid. Have you seen anyone wearing big planars before? They look stupid. And this might look stupid, but these do not look stupid. How? How did a man, just one man, not Sennheiser or everyone in Hi-Fi Men or fucking Dan Clark or any of those headphones over there, any of them, how are all of them failures? Every single one of them is a failure compared to how these fit and feel. Yaxie shirt, by the way. Fit and feel. The weight distribution, the way it levels itself. Just the look of it, like how close it stays. This is dumb. How does Ryan know human anatomy better than every other company on earth? Zach from ZMF, love it. Love his headphones. But when you put on a big set of, it feels big and it feels heavy. These don't. These are a huge planar and they don't feel heavy. And we haven't even got to the best part yet, which is the sound. So hold on, go back to waifus for a second. Put this thing back on my head hole. All right. This is my stained Yaxie shirt. So now that we've established that it is probably one of the most comfortable headphones in existence, certainly one of the lightest that you can get. Like, I don't remember what the actual grams is, but though the aluminum on the back weighs more than just a straight wood, and he's constantly trying to take weight out of things. Like, it's got a rough texture. It's got a rough, it looks like it was hammered out of metal, but it's a synthered 3D print that he has sent out and done and brought back. And then ceramic coated. I think ceramic coated. Again, just check out his post. Now let's put them on our heads and listen to them. Because you start with this, how I start almost every headphone, is put it on and just wear it with no music playing. No, stop, shh. Just wear it. And once the comfort is there, and once you've established that, oh my God, this is really comfortable, now you can start getting distracted by the music. I should probably plug this back into something. Now let's talk about the problem. There's one problem with this headphone. There is a slim chance you're going to be able to power it perfectly without buying something. There are miraculous amplifiers that just happen to run it. And even those only run at about 85–90%. This original Gishelli Labs Arish Balance, the original one, the version 1, before they started measuring everything and trying to get on the good side of ASR, they had these, and these had slightly higher voltage bias, which measures badly. So they fixed it. But these headphones, the thing that these headphones want is more voltage. And I mean, they're probably the most difficult headphone I've ever experienced to try to power properly. This whole desk, this whole day has been dedicated to making and finding new setups to try to run this. For the first time in a while, I've turned this stuff on. Found out Singzer SA1 powers it. Maxed out, we are, hold on. The Push Stars Bad Sneakers. No. Alice Cooper, hold on. Burson, Soloist 3, runs it at 92 on high gain. Singzer SA1 runs it full tilt, no quarter, just straight. I am running these both off of this little Topping D30 Pro DAC, and the Singzer's coming off RCA, so it might have more power if I give it XLR. Running, hold on. Running louder on the Burson. And then I actually hooked up the reference, the QES reference, which is that Italian-made amplifier that the creator passed away. And one of the things it never had was a DAC that could throw the highest voltage, the studio voltage. Note the CMA 15 over there, which has a switch in the back next to the XLRs that says, oh yeah, we could do 20 dB instead of 14. So I plug this in at 0. Runs it 85%. Not, keep in mind, that's at 0. That's at 92 out of 100. That's at 100 out of 100. You should all recognize the Fosse V3. The Fosse V3 is going to be recommended because it's $89. It's the cheapest way to run these. This will run at, I'd say, 95%. It maybe doesn't have the warmth of like a dedicated amplifier like the Hi-Fi Mini F600 we're getting to, but it runs it. And there's headroom. Granted, that's a 300 watt per channel speaker amp running an adapter. And it's actually running, this is all double helix adapters. I'll link to them in the description because, frankly, I want them to sponsor me going to things in the future. Hi, double helix, they're cool guys. I had tried the Geshelli Oracle 3 Pro, doesn't do it. I tried the Rebel amp, doesn't do it, distorts. I tried the little tube, if we go here, EF600 will do it on high gain. But if you go past 3 o'clock on the volume and you go a little bit further, really loud stuff will distort. We start getting into distortion. It starts pulling distortion out of things. In fact, I found the start of a Mr. Robot song where the first 5 seconds was like crackle. And then I lowered the volume and it went away until I went to every amplifier, just repeating the same 5 seconds and setting them all before the crackle. So I know which ones worked and which ones didn't. This, which I'm going to get the review of done this week, fucking works. Like, again, above 90%. That's all you could hope for with the version 9 that I have, not the 9.2 that has slightly better stats. 90% powering this is plenty. We come over here because when I actually showed up, when Ryan showed up to test things at my house, he brought this set here, the Black Ice Fusion F11 right over there. That son of a bitch is a speaker amp. Happens to have a headphone out in front. We don't use that. You got to use the terminals in the back. But it's 11 watts per channel. And it took that much with high voltage gain to make these go. And it sounded amazing. So now instead of that, I've got the Audiophile Solaris. Let's get off that explosion sound. This will run it. So if you have a $4,000 German tube amp, again, the creator passed away. I'm surrounded by beautiful amplifiers with dead creators. This will run it without a problem on high gain, on OTL mode. We still haven't gotten to how it sounds, by the way. I want to point it out. And then the last thing that I added today, I had these Savage A10A monoblock speaker amps. And I was originally using with their little DAC. And I'm like, wait, this is coming out too good. So I added this. I don't know if I can find this again. This is a full click relay volume control. And then I'm feeding that with the Aries, with the Denafrips Aries. And this is the most headroom I've had this. This is the most power I've ever given these headphones. And I now can say this reaches 100%. Dual monoblocks. Granted, not even that expensive, under $200 a piece. That's doable, but then you gotta wire speaker wires into a goddamn adapter, and then you gotta be like... All right. My cat's just yelling everywhere. Sound. These are Zeospantera D8000. I'm trying to think of other insanely expensive headphones that I respect at all, because these join the ranks of $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 headphones. In fact, only a few days ago, I was up with DMS in Buffalo, and he has the Sennheiser HE1. And I'll say this, these don't beat the Sennheiser HE1. But if you miss the Sennheiser HE1 for what it can do to sound, and I have that video coming out obviously also like this week, these will do. These will do. I think he should probably be charging $3,000 for this headphone. He should be charging more, actually. Because here's the thing. If you judge how much something should cost on the amount of effort going into it, these are a $7,000 headphone. They just are. Everything about this he's done. He's designed. He's got the laser cutter that cuts out the wood. He's got the 3D printer. He's sending out parts only when he has to. He's doing all the stitch work himself. This is the most human effort put into a headphone by a single individual. And you can tell that he's not just good, he's lucky. I will take lucky over good any day of the week. But I think he's so lucky that he's turned that luck into good, and it's just... Everyone who hears these loves them. Everyone who hears these loves them. Even people who I know are kind of like, I don't know. Love them. Fucking love them. There's an entire private chat called Tung Talk about the Tungsten with like 85 people in it. Those 85 people are all people who said they're going to buy it. Ryan has told me he's probably going to be able to make 15 to 20 of these a month until the sales come in, more money comes in, and he could start automating processes and sending things out. Maybe these don't get... Maybe he isn't the one doing the finishing work on it all. He's doing everything. Except for the wire and the actual build of the drivers, it's all him. So he's looking at maximum capacity, 30, 35 a month. And at $1,600 to $2,000, he's not charging enough. There's going to be months-long waits for these. If you heard them and you were comparing to, I don't know, Sennheiser HD800s or 820s, or things like Zeospantera, or if you're getting the raw requisites and you put these on your head, number one, they're going to be the most comfortable of all of them. Any of them. And then number two, you're going to put on sound, and it's going to have, holy shit, that low end is so clean. Oh my God, it's such they work with tubes. When I plugged it into the Solaris, like it softens up, like with the F11, it softens it up, and it takes this like brutally controlled sound, and it just softens it a little bit. But at the same time, I don't give a flying fuck what's powering it, because the end is the thing. DACs can come and go. Amps can come and go. Yes, you have to amp these properly. But if the headphone's no good, it doesn't matter what your source gear is, it's not going to work. These headphones are so good that it doesn't matter what your source gear is. You just need to find one that can actually push and power things. Like, just get it there. Just get me there. If I plug it. Oh. Fat John, Ollie 2. Like the knock. The knock is just... They're the best headphones. Best headphones for the money? Yes. Best headphones on Earth. If I had Zeospantera on the desk, and again, those are also a headphone that needed to be powered by, like, God. Oh, my fucking Christ. Why is that here? Monty Python's Life of Brian. It's a 25-minute track, and apparently it starts with... That's an impressive stack. This double stack of speaker amps, and this little kind of baby thing that's run off a 12 volt 1 amp or 12 volt 2.5 amp. gets similarly loud. This will distort if you put it up any further, and it really gets a bassy track going. So you have to, like, that's the only reason that it's like he can't fully recommend it, is if Jeshelli Labs is willing to make a special version of an Erish, of a balanced unit with high voltage bias, it would be an easy just $200-300 buy this, and then you buy these, or have it come with it in a pack. These headphones have kind of been my obsession since I heard them at Capital Audio Fest. Every review I've done from Capital Audio Fest 2022-3 till now has been a lie. Or not a lie. I give you the honest opinion of a headphone, but in the back of my mind, every headphone that was even touching $1,000, I was like, but what about Tungsten? But what about Tungsten? And yeah, this is good, but what about Tungsten? Because the Tungsten exists. It's going to be out. It's going to come out at some point. You're going to be able to buy it. There's not even a purchase page. If you go to Modhouse, oh, that's Eris. It's my collab headphone, which is not nearly as good as this. But if you go here, all they have is in the news section is this long post explaining the timeline of building this headphone. And the title being, it's been a long time coming. That's it. There's no purchase page yet. People are buying these right now as I film this. The version number 1 went to that guy Nathan, the one who wanted it in November. The one who's like, here's money. Give me the fucking headphones. He got number 1, unit number 1. He got a little plaque for it. And people are getting them, but it's like an underground thing. Because if it's not an underground thing, if it's just open to the public, if it's just like, hey, public see reviews, hey, review this headphone, hey, it's the best headphone money can fucking buy, he won't be able to give it to anybody. And that what happens then is you get 5, 6, 7 month waiting periods. No one's willing to wait. They want a headphone now and they forget about it and go buy something else. So this has got to come out in drips. So you patrons that are watching this, just know this exists. I won't even take them off my head. This exists. And it will completely eliminate 85% of all the headphones you have. Like, you'd have to have very specific, like, I want Zeos's new Eris because it's got the most bass. Or you have to be like, I want the most airy light headphone that is a little bass light. Like Moondrop Venus or these, it's this 100 million times over than the Venus. But the Venus I could recommend to people because it exists and they can buy it for $600. But if you're looking for the best headphone that is made, this is some boutique shit. And I'm still haven't talked about the sound enough, and I know I haven't. But it's so hard because it is leagues better in so many aspects of it, in like taking the song and putting it right here, and you hear the best imaging you've ever heard, the tightest low end, and there's quite a lot of it too. You get highs that fucking bagpipe would have killed me in any other headphone of that volume. It was just a loud bagpipe. It didn't distort, it didn't twist, it didn't make me go, it was just fucking bagpipes. Oh, Jesus. The Drake, calm your balls. Literally his balls. He's trying to be... Look, Chewbacca didn't scream at all, and now you're just trying to make up for it. These are a work of not just love, these are a work of insanity. These are the craziest headphones that I've ever experienced. And the thing is, they don't just be crazy and okay. They be crazy, the most comfortable, some of the best looking headphones as far as I'm concerned. And then they sound like this. They are the full fucking package. The end. That's all I could say. They're everything you need in a headphone. They even do a little bit of modification on a tube. Not a TA26 will just shit the bed. The reason this is tube is because it's 11 watts a channel and a goddamn giant tube. You'd be best off solid states. Something solid state, whether it's the Fosse or a Jeshelli or the Burson or the Singzer, and then doing a tube preamp. If you really want to get a little bit of hybrid tube going into it. I haven't plugged it into literally every single headphone amp that I have in this house. But that might be a thing I do in the future. When we're getting closer to actually like release and I got the double magnet version, I'm going to set up a live stream and just go around and just pull it off the wall, plug it into 789. All right, and put it back on the wall, and plug it into this, and back on the wall. Because once you're satisfied with the amount of volume you're getting, which, let's go back to my most satisfactory giant, stupid double tube amp. And I think I have this currently being fed again with the Denafrip series. I might set it to the Hi-Fiman EF600 to use the RRR DAC Himalaya into these. Once you are mildly confident you can power them, and then you buy them, and then you wear them, everything is the best revision of itself. The music, it doesn't sound like I'm listening to a headphone that I need to assess. It sounds like I'm listening to something like the HE1. Like it's an event, it's an experience. It's not there to be judged, it's there just to be enjoyed. That's the Modhouse Tungsten. Which I would have gone with a sexier name because I think Tungsten sounds like tongue, but tongues are kind of hot too. I guess, I don't know. Put this back on my head. Yeah, the holographic imaging of like 80s pop music was like doo-doo-doo, and I heard the left to right on the drum kit. You don't find that. Like, I wouldn't even compare these to like a Abyss Diana. They're in a whole different league. He kept comparing it to Abyss Diana. The thing is, Ryan and Modhouse kept comparing it. He's like, can I borrow your Abyss? Can I listen to this? And I'm like, why? Your shit's already better. It's already better than these. Because those are there's so many one-note headphones. Abyss Diana are very detailed. Are they the most soundstagey? Do they have the best imaging? Are they the most comfortable? Are they the best looking? No. So I feel like what he did was chimera the fuck out of this. Take the best image, best detail from that, put it in here. Then take the best soundstage from this. Then take comfort from absolutely fucking nobody. You're all failures. You're all failures in comfort, all right? All of you. And then make this headphone. Make this weird... The Chimera would have been a cool name for the headphone, but I already have the cable. I would let him have it. The delicacy of it. Now I might just... You know what? It doesn't matter how long this video is. It's going to be on Patreon forever. The delicacy of quiet sounds and how much dynamic range we have, where it starts building louder and louder and louder, to the point where you start hurting your ears because when you can get it so loud, it's just, you never lower the volume. I've cried more to these headphones than I've cried to almost anything. I've had them long enough now. I've listened to enough of my playlist. I've had the emotional responses that you usually reserve for... Oh my fucking science. I've also had a lot of that. This is Epic Score, which means I can play it on YouTube. This is Overdose C. I got chills just now. Fucking chills. I'm inside of these. It's the Rorschach. You know, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Like... Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should sit next track or just sit here and... Everything is so fast. Everything is so impactful. Then the sounds are wide and they're close and these are fucking stupid. My only advice to Ryan was... Don't blow your load all in one go, because at some point, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, someone's going to ask you to make the next revision of a headphone. And how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you beat what I'm experiencing right now? This sounds like HE1 if I wasn't afraid to break it. Because there's like a limit on the HE1 where you're like, oh my god, it's so... but it's like, oh. I'm putting on the song called Panic Attack. Not as good. And I'm shuffling. Pearl Jam, no way. They're the best headphone. They're legitimately the best headphone. Like D8000s maybe have more low-end control, maybe. Susvara maybe has better holographic imaging on the top half of the frequency response. These are better all around than the combined efforts of all of those flagships. Flagships, like worldwide flagships. Like Utopia 2023. Who cares about the Vocal Utopia 2023 when tungstens exist? I mean, if you have like limited amplification, then maybe you should start concerning yourselves. But if you have the money, you have the desire, you have the faith in a one person's dream who is like, you know what, Argons, everyone respects the T60 Argons, but I think I could do better. And then you move on to this. This is your first headphone? This one. This is like the Lamborghini Miura is like the fucking most beautiful. It wasn't even a good. Here's the thing. If the Lamborghini Miura drove like a modern McLaren F1 or Senna, that's what these are. It's the first one. It's the most beautiful. It's the best fitting, and it drives the best. That doesn't. One thing has to fail. Where's the failure here? They're too cheap. Oh, I'm sorry. They're too cheap. There's the failure. Now that I've put this together, which gives me literally 100% of the needed power and not 93 or 92 or 95, once I've got 100% of the power needed, these are the best headphones on earth. Full stop. You don't know the best part? There's no affiliate link. I make $0 from telling you this. So please, thank you for being patrons and subscribers. You keep this channel going. Wallpapers available in the Wallpaper Horde. If you're not a patron, if this eventually comes out live or gets leaked, maybe I'll make it if I make it a free share, there's too much chance of it getting around. So just try to keep this video like, you can say the words coming out of my mouth, but just don't give this video to people. Because people who figure out how to put in the, like people have been directly writing letters to Ryan to order one of these. And I'm sure by the time it comes out on Patreon, I will have talked to Ryan and be like, look, Ryan, how do you want to organize this? Because it's all, I'm here to protect him. I'm his guardian fucking angel. All right? Because I do not want him to get over fucking killed with orders. And I don't want him to disappoint people. That's the two things I'm here to do. I invested it. I gave him some money, but like, here, look, put together 10 of them so you can start selling it. He's already started paying me back on that. Zero interest. I'm not that kind of Italian. I mean, I am. I'll break your fucking legs. But I'm not that kind. I put it in and wrote a check to invest in this. Because I want you, the audience, to thank me and him simultaneously without fucking issue. All right? I don't want to be caught out in another fucking vocal erupt fucking nightmare. All right? Where I thought it was great and then it turned into shit. Where I thought this was great and turned into shit. GL 2000s. All right? These have to be as good as I'm telling you they are right now, because everything's on the line with them. My reputation, Ryan's reputation, people's sanity, and their money. So it's got to be one particular moment. Girl with a dragon tattoo. What even is this sound? It's like blowing into a pipe. I'm gonna cry. I don't even know this song. I'm gonna cry. It's just the way it does. It's just the way it does things is fucking spectacular. I don't know if I'm gonna find its equal ever. That's it. And I know I'm gonna like the organic. I know the Hyphamin Organic's coming, and that's really good. But it's like, this is everything I want. Just the fact that it comes with like. He put the thought and energy into like, oh, you know what? I should have someone who knows how to make cables really good. Make this cable with the custom made like split. And you could even get this upgraded if you talk to Skedra directly. This is a community. This feels like a community project. This is done by people from us. working together and talking, and oh, I know a guy who could do a thing, and oh, do you know a guy that could do it? So I'm quite happy with it on that. But if I needed to, if it came down to it and I needed to plug it into the Singzer, it would be like quieter for certain. I'd say the Singzer's at 90%, but it runs. Don't be afraid to buy these because you don't have an amplifier to run it. I keep finding new little gems that do it. That's like saying, oh, I can't buy this really nice car because my roads are shit. Someone will fix the roads. The roads will get repaired. 99 out of 99 on the Burson. And the thing is, it gets loud, but it's not as... I feel like even if it gets louder than I really need... I feel like we're hitting the limitations of this Burson at 90. But you know what? Limited at 90 is still fucking great. All right. They also lay flat like that. Or like this. I think they go completely 180 degrees and will lay flat. I would say click the link in the description to buy these, but you can't. So if you're a patron of mine, if you're a $5 patron, enjoy this video. If you're a $10 patron, you might be able to work your way through the patronage chat and figure out how to fucking order these. But no matter what, and if you're a puppy after this comes out, it is currently August. I'm filming this in August. If this comes out in September, I'll be shocked. October, less shocked. November, even less shocked. But you guys are in for a treat. Oh, by the way, the left and right indicator on the wire is there. There's just the littlest bit of heat shrink down there. And they're so angled that there's no left and right indicator on the headphone. I mean, the wires are in the back. You don't need to know what's left and right when the wires are not just on the back of the cup, but inserted in, and they look. It's the best headphone. Best headphone. Thank you for being patrons and sticking around for this entirely insanely long 36-minute video. Patrons, subscribers, star subscribers, whichever one you are. I know Patreon had a fucking where they kicked a bunch of things out. I'm not sure if that's affected me yet because I haven't gotten the payments. But if you did get kicked out and you're seeing this, how? If you didn't get kicked out, thank you for sticking around. $5 a month, see reviews early, participate in yard sales. Lost the sound demos. I did the sound demo for this. It's 30 minutes long, and I was gushing, and I didn't even have that amplifier combo. If I did the sound demo again, it would be that amplifier combo, and I have the backs on it now because I broke the previous backs, and it does change the tuning slightly when you cover it. So it's actually warmer now and probably more emotional. We'll get to that. $10 a month, private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat, which is where everybody knows what I'm doing all the time. If you want to know about these things, the moment things are discovered, patronage chat. And once you're in there, you also get into a lifetime swap meet channel to buy, smell, and trade gear. Wow. Buy, sell, and trade gear. So if you do buy a set of these and you think they're not good, and you could sell them, and then after you do that, I'll call you an idiot. But either way, buy, sell, trade gear, and that in there for life, no matter if you want to support me or not. Yeah, I'm done. It took me 2.5 hours to set this review up, and I just sat here being sad because I know like, you only get to make this video once. I could make it again. When the double magnet comes out, you bet your ass is making another one. But it's like, now I can just put it on the side and I can move forward, and I don't want to. I don't wanna. I don't fucking wanna. I don't wanna. Wait, this video is not over. Wait, go back. Wait, go forward. We have feet here. Who is the other owner? You're an owner. See, I'm Zeo, so I get my set. If I could lose my set, thank you. Yeah. Oh God, bad's happening. So the purple set with the purple backs are the set that were the revision 9. This man bought it with money. He gets the 9.2, so he brought them here so that I could hear them, then hear the difference, because until Ryan has an extra set lying around, which he won't forever. And oh my God, it's not like, okay, everything works now, it's perfect, but it's so much easier to push on. Like, I think we're on 80 on this Burson instead of 92. and like the Singzer SA1, which was maxed out for me, it can actually be like a little less, which is all you need. Just a little less, a little more and a little less. A little less power requirements and gives you a little bit more volume when you plug it into anything. We were even testing out portable stuff. That's how excited we are about this. And so we were playing around. I don't think the Sauvage stack with dual monoblocks is even needed, because anyone who buys one is going to get this revision. The 9.2, I think it's 9.2 or 9.3 driver. And
that's a 9.2.
It's a 9.2. So by the time it actually hits mainstream, when this video goes public, hi everybody, because this is currently for patrons only, forever and ever and ever, you're going to be able to actually run these on semi-normal things. And then I didn't pull this out in the review earlier part. This is the X-Duo that I was using when I was first testing my set out. And I was like, wow, how the hell does this little tube hybrid do it? So now with this retail pair, using this as the source for the DAC, and then using this to control the volume into this, because this thing is this is the best pairing of, this is the best I've heard them sound. It's ridiculous. It's just clean and clear, and you get the tube sound, and it's doable. These are now doable. So I want to yes, just all you gotta know is yes. This is where one of the woods, by the way, mine was cedar, and this is something else. But yeah, no. Still best headphone. All right. How many headphones do you have?
6.
How many headphones have you heard in your life?
At least a couple dozen.
Best ones?
Yes.
There you go. Don't take my word for it. Take other random people's word for it. Oh my God. I don't even like Led Zeppelin. Yeah, no, they're just the best headphone. And now, with a little bit more efficiency, even better. Also, he has smooth rods. I think is this going to be an option, you think?
Yes.
So here, he has smooth rods on his, so it just slides up and down. Mine have the original rough rods. That sounds like a great name for like a motorcycle gang. So it goes click, 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 click. And they're a little bit rough. They have to be machined slightly different, because this was an early pair. So it'll probably be smoother than this, but you could also just get them smooth. He's undercharging. He's undercharging so much. How much should these be?
15.
How much should they be?
Oh, should they be? 18? Maybe more?
$4,000.
They compete that high.
I mean, they compete with the things that are 6, so, and they're handmade. And the amount of effort. Ugh. Anyway, I'm done. Now we're really done. Oh, goodbye again. Goodbye again. Thank you, patrons, for seeing this video.